Welcome to the Binge. After a brief hiatus, we're back with Season 4. This is a podcast with no lane, no syllabus, and no promise to stay on topic. Some days it's ideas, some days it's stories, some days it's things I probably should have kept to myself, but didn't. If you're looking for experts, certainty, or closure, you might be in the wrong place. But if you like wandering thoughts, unfinished conclusions, sharp turns, and the occasional uncomfortable truth, you're exactly where you should be. This is about whatever's on my mind, whenever it gets there. Culture, nonsense, curiosity, frustration, humor, and the stuff that doesn't fit neatly anywhere else. No agenda, no filter, no apologies. This is The Binge.
It's the Binge Podcast where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast. Come join us fast.
I once learned, while standing perfectly still and nonetheless traveling upward, that the escalator is one of humanity's most confident lies. It pretends to be a staircase, solid, dependable, Protestant in its seriousness, but it is actually a machine that eats shoes and has no feelings about it. This is interesting for two reasons. First, we trust it with our bodies. Second, we trust it with our dignity, which it occasionally shreds like a careless god. The escalator was invented to solve a problem nobody had articulated, the unbearable burden of lifting one foot in front of the other. This does not mean the problem didn't exist. It only means we had been quietly furious about it for centuries. When the first escalator appeared at the end of the 19th century, people reportedly approached it as if it might explode or demand a password, which frankly was sensible. Any device that moves while you don't is clearly up to something. Early versions were less ride and more mechanized flirtation with death. They featured exposed gears, aggressive angles, and the strong suggestion that you should update your will before boarding. People fell, hats were lost, children disappeared briefly into the machinery and came back with stories that they would never tell correctly again. Progress, as usual, was making its point with bruises. Today's escalator is a marvel of refinement. It hums politely, it waits, it pretends to be on your side, and yet it remains a petty bastard. It knows when you are late, it senses distraction, it has a particular fondness of sandals, shoelaces, and that one-wheeled suitcase you swear fits just fine. The escalator is not malicious exactly, it's worse than that. It's indifferent, which is the universe's favorite personality. There is a specific moment familiar to anyone who has ever traveled through an airport when an escalator reaches the top and demands a decision. You must step off immediately. Hesitation will not be tolerated. Behind you, a crowd presses forward with the quiet, murderous hope that you will not fuck this up. For half a second, the escalator gives you freedom. Then it reclaims it by pushing your heel into the future, whether you're ready or not. This is how it works, by the way. We just usually don't get handrails. Some people walk on escalators, which is a little like jogging on a moving sidewalk. Technically possible, morally questionable. These people believe efficiency is a personality. They sigh loudly at those who stand still, as if gravity itself has personally disappointed them. Others stand, zoned out, staring into the middle distance where their thoughts go to be unproductive. Both groups are wrong, which is comforting. Humanity is rarely united, but we are remarkably consistent in our failure to agree on basic rules posted clearly on signs. What fascinates me is how escalators reveal our private negotiations with control. Elevators at least have the decency to admit they're machines. Escalators pretend to be landscapes. They say, "Relax, I've got this." And we do. We surrender. We stand there motionless, scrolling through tiny glowing rectangles, trusting a set of metal stairs assembled by strangers to deliver us safely to a sandwich. This is faith. Not the cathedral kind, but the everyday kind that keeps civilization duct-taped together. There's also something fairly absurd about being carried upward by a contraption that could be defeated by a power outage. One minute it's a symbol of unstoppable progress, the next it's just a staircase having a nap. People react to a broken escalator with genuine outrage, as if it has betrayed them personally. It's just standing there, they say, furious that it has reverted to its original perfectly functional form. So it goes with most of our inventions. We build machines to save time, and then we spend that time being annoyed at them. We automate effort and are shocked when the result is not happiness, but a slightly faster version of the same old bullshit. The escalator doesn't care. It will keep moving or it won't. Either way, it will be there tomorrow waiting to carry you upward while you think about nothing in particular. And maybe that's the point. For a few seconds, you don't have to do anything. You just stand there, balanced between floors, letting a machine handle the forward motion of your life. It's a small mercy, really. Brief, mildly dangerous, occasionally profane. But then again, so is being human. Welcome me back to the mic, everyone. Today we're talking about the one word that has become the moral currency of our generation: authenticity. You hear it everywhere. Be authentic. Show your true self. Live your truth. On paper, it sounds fantastic, right? A rebellion against the polished, perfect facade of the past. It's supposed to mean being honest, being raw, showing your messy, unedited self. But let's look around. That beautiful, aspirational ideal is curdled into something else entirely. What we have now is not authentic living, it's the performance of authenticity. If someone asks you to be authentic, what they're usually asking is for a highly curated, highly edited version of your vulnerability. We've replaced the old polished performance of success with a new polished performance of struggle and relatability. It's exhausting, frankly, and it's a bullshit trap. Think about the structure of our digital lives. We spend hours meticulously crafting the perfect caption to show how unfiltered our morning coffee looks. We document our tears, our anxiety, our struggles with mental health, and while vulnerability is essential for human connection, when it's immediately framed and broadcast for an audience of thousands, it ceases to be a moment of genuine self-expression and becomes content. The moment you monetize your flaws or treat your trauma as a narrative arc for your brand, you're not being authentic. You're being a producer, a storyteller, and a damn good editor. You're engaged in strategic vulnerability. You're showing the right kind of messiness, the kind that gets engagement, the kind that makes people lean in and say, wow, they're just like me. The pressure is insane. We're not just expected to be good at our jobs and kind to our friends. We're expected to maintain a consistent, marketable, and constantly evolving brand of realness. If you show too much polish, you're fake. If you show too much joy, you're unrelatable. If you show genuine, un-Instagrammable confusion, you're simply bad at the game. It's a zero-sum game because it's a contradiction in terms. The moment you are trying to prove how authentic you are, by definition, engaged in a performance. You are self-monitoring. You're worried about the audience's reaction. You're asking, does this action read as authentic enough? And once that question enters your head, the authenticity is gone. It's been replaced by calculation. So, what is the heavy, brutal cost of this chase for realness? It's cognitive exhaustion. We have to manage multiple personalities simultaneously. We have the work self, the friend self, the parent self, and now the aggressively vulnerable yet still aspirational social self. The pressure to keep these masks straight, the pressure to always be on and ready to perform the requested flavor of you is driving us all to the brink. It also leads to a kind of creative paralysis because true, messy, ugly authenticity, the kind that involves mistakes, boring nights, and unresolvable contradictions, is not entertaining. It doesn't translate well to a 30-second reel. So we skip the quiet, complex parts of life and jump straight to the parts we can frame and post. We start living life not for the experience itself, but the performance we can create from it later. We are constantly, preemptively editing our own existence. I mean, honestly, when was the last time you just existed in a room without wondering, could this moment be a caption? That's the psychological price we're paying for this authenticity obsession. So what do? We stop trying to be authentic because that word is broken. The antidote isn't fake it till you make it. The antidote is moving from performative authenticity to something quieter, something more sustainable. congruence. Congruence means the person you are in one room is largely the same person you are in every other room. It means your actions align with your stated values. It means you don't need to post about your morals, you simply live them. Congruence doesn't demand that you be raw or vulnerable for an audience. It demands that you be reliable and integrated within yourself. It's about focusing on your internal truth, not your external presentation. It's about doing the quiet, unglamorous work of being the same person in the presence of your boss, your partner, and your darkest thought at 3 a.m. This is a practice, not a posture, and it is the only way to escape the exhausting, high-stakes performance that is the authenticity trap. Let's stop being content creators and start being content human beings. Let's trade the exhausting chase for the perfect real post for the quiet, simple satisfaction of just being ourselves without the camera rolling. Because real strength is found in quiet integrity, not in loud performance. The tyranny of hustle culture. Welcome back, everyone. Take a deep breath. Now, if you're listening to this at 2 p.m., I guarantee a little voice in your head just whispered, you should be doing something more productive right now. We are living in the age of the hustle. It's the relentless, exhausting religion of our time. And if you're not up at 5 a.m. doing yoga while simultaneously cold calling clients and drinking a gallon of celery juice, you feel like you're losing. Right? Hustle culture is more than just working hard. It's a moral framework. It tells us that our worth is directly proportional to our productivity. It says that exhaustion is a sign of grace, that you should feel guilty for enjoying a quiet Saturday afternoon, and that sleep is for the weak. It's a toxic, unsustainable ideology designed to make you maximize profit for someone else while minimizing your own well-being. And honestly, it's a total load of crap. Let's unpack the myth of constant optimization. Hustle culture is fueled by what I call productivity porn. Those glossy social media posts about rigid morning routines, overloaded calendars, and the relentless pressure to grind. It presents this highly curated narrative that success only belongs to those who suffer the most. But ask yourself, when was the last time your truly best idea came to you while you were frantically switching between emails at 11 p.m.? The truth is, the majority of the tasks that fill the hustle calendar, the endless meetings, the status updates, the busy work, are fundamentally low value. We cling to them because they make us feel active, but they are distractions from the few pieces of deep work that actually move the needle. We've mistaken intensity for quality. We treat our minds like an appliance that must be running at max power 24/7. But the brain, our greatest creative tool, is not a machine. It's an ecosystem. If you constantly till the soil, if you never let the land lie fallow, you deplete its nutrients. You get fast, shallow, mediocre crops, not deep, meaningful, innovative ones. The quality of your work is actually a direct reflection of the quality of your rest. Period. The real, heavy cost of this lifestyle is not just physical burnout, it's creative sterility and diminished emotional capacity. When you're constantly hustling, you lose the ability to think laterally, to connect disparate ideas, or to access true creativity. Why? Because the subconscious mind needs boredom and downtime to process complex information and generate novel solutions. If you fill every single moment with input, a podcast on your commute, scrolling while you eat, checking work emails before bed, you starve your subconscious of the space it needs to cook up those amazing breakthrough ideas. You're trading genius for exhaustion. Furthermore, this obsession with performance makes us deeply unlikable and incapable of genuine connection. We start seeing other people, including our partners and children, as potential distractions from the grind, or worse, as resources to be optimized. We judge our friends' choices through the lens of productivity. Why are they watching a movie when they could be networking? It's a socially destructive mindset that reduces human connection to a transactional networking event. It's isolating, and it's making us all miserable, successful, and alone. It forces us into a terrible cycle where we are afraid to stop because if we stop, we might see the ugly truth. We're chasing a goal that was set by someone else, and we're sacrificing our physical health, our relationships, and our sanity for a quarterly bonus that isn't even truly life-changing. So, how do we escape this oppressive cycle? We stop trying to be productive and start trying to be effective. The antidote is not less work. The antidote is deliberate rest and scheduling anti-productivity. Deliberate rest means you schedule time to do absolutely nothing demanding, and you defend that time fiercely. It means taking a walk without your phone or reading a novel without feeling guilty about the dishes. We need to intentionally reintroduce boredom into our lives. Boredom is not a void, it's a canvas. It's the space where the mind, free from external demands, finally turns inward and starts playing. It's where your biggest problems get solved while you're thinking about absolutely nothing. You are not lazy for resting. You are being strategically intelligent. The goal is congruence. The goal is impact. The goal is to spend your energy on the 2 things that matter, not the 20 things that feel urgent. We need to stop equating our identity with our job title or the number of hours we clocked this week. Your value as a person is not a function of your weekly output. Let's reject the tyranny of the hustle. Let's trade the badge of exhaustion for the deep, quiet confidence that comes from being well-rested, integrated, and genuinely effective. That's all for this week's segment. If this resonated, here's your challenge. Block out 1 hour tomorrow, just one, and dedicate it to true, unadulterated rest. You are not allowed to watch, read, or listen to anything informative. No podcasts, no news, no instructional videos, just quiet, unproductive time. It might feel weirdly rebellious at first, but I promise it's the most productive hour you'll spend all week. Let me know what ideas bubble up. We'll talk soon. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe.
Tune in right now. Got stories to tell, from the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. From the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. Tune in right to the bliss, get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast.